you've seen the big picture of what marriage mentoring is all about, and you've gotten a sense of the unique perspective you bring to mentoring just by virtue of being a man or a woman. Now it's time to roll up our sleeves and dive into the first of these skills we're going to cover.
Yeah, and in some ways, it's the very foundation for all the rest. It's all about how to build rapport with that couple you're mentoring.
I looked up the word rapport, and what I found was that the root meaning comes from port, which is another word for door, like a portal. And we thought that's a perfect metaphor because rapport itself is the door you have to open in order for the mentoring relationship to really flourish.
Right, without rapport, without that port of entry, so to speak, the relationship will have a hard time developing. Here's another root meaning of the word rapport. We live in Seattle, which is a major port city, a place where a ship finds a safe harbor. And in a very real way, that's exactly what you're providing as marriage mentors.
It's the heart of what mentoring is all about, relationship. Creating that affinity, that accord between you and your mentorees that makes a safe space for your relationship to grow and develop.
The main thing is to have them at ease. And so you can't come in and go, okay, we're going to start talking about sex tonight. It doesn't work like that.
Our style is really, really informal, and we just try to have fun. And so as we get together with groups or one-on-one with couples, we try to have fun and laugh, and so they understand that doesn't have to be so serious, that we can be effective but also enjoy ourselves. Sometimes being silly, all of those things help because it breaks down barriers.
It is so casual and so easy because it's one of those things that we're just friends. We're just friends building bridges across a lot of different issues that they're struggling with.
Keep in mind that doesn't necessarily mean it comes automatically.
No, not at all. Sometimes it's a door that's incredibly easy to open. Sometimes you just click right away and that's it. But more often than not, the hinges will need to be oiled just a bit.
She made us cookies and we just went in the living room. We all had our shoes off, and I think as the night went on, we just again felt more like it was home rather than this formal, kind of formal relationship.
We found that there are 3 key components to building rapport.
That's right. The first is identifying with your mentorees, finding that common ground between you.
Now, in most cases, this probably won't be too tough. After all, you're mentoring this couple because there's a degree of shared experience and interest between you. Whether it's raising kids, surviving communication meltdowns, or just that desire to take your relationship to the next level.
We build rapport with new mentorees by developing a relationship, having them over for dinner, spending time with them. That is probably the most important way to develop a rapport initially.
We've gone in looking at the intake information on a couple we're going to work with, and we'll say, oh, we don't have anything in common. 10 minutes into it, we relate on some level. Sometimes there's something exactly with him that I relate. We're both high energy.
This way.
And other times we're clones. There's a couple we're like, you are us just about 10 years ago.
Right.
And so there's always some common ground.
And you sit there and you can all laugh together, and everyone throws out their own worst date, or what was it like the first time you saw this person that's now your spouse? And those are the kinds of things that from the beginning they just would ask us these wonderful questions.
At the same time that we're asking about them, we begin sharing with them who we are and where we come from, and the story of our lives on a very casual and comfortable basis.
And then it would go to the point where they would share their answers too, which was great. So we felt like they got to know us and really actually know some of our stories. Right. But we got to know them too, which was pretty neat.
We don't pour it all out at first, but they realized that we're 2 very real people with some differences that have had quite a few years to not only celebrate one another's strengths, but struggle a bit with one another's weaknesses.
The next component to building rapport is about establishing credibility with your mentoree couple.
This is so important. In order for the relationship to be based on trust, it's really essential they know they can count on you. Are you truly invested in them, or are you just kind of going through the motions?
Here we are in their home. The entire night they asked us, nonstop questions about us and our life and our marriage and what we wanted. It was all about us.
This gets down to very practical issues, like showing up on time and being dependable. These kinds of things go a long way in establishing your credibility.
We do show up. We're consistent. We are interested in their lives. And, that's what we want to be in relationship with them and show them that we're here for them. And sometimes that looks that way for a long period of time, and then maybe, months down the road, then they feel comfortable saying, we're really struggling with this in our marriage and want to talk about it.
The third component of building rapport is about monitoring your interest level during your mentoring sessions. Your ability to stay tuned into your mentorees goes a long way in solidifying a strong sense of rapport. It makes sense, right? It's pretty hard to want to open up or keep sharing about yourself with someone who's not genuinely interested in you.
We identify with them, I think, really well. I feel like our relationship with them is great. They just are so in tune, just leaning forward and just really.
And they work on setting an environment where they're going to totally be there. We set aside, a time where we're going to have dinner. It's going to be quiet. There's not going to be anybody around. The phones are off, so that they're there 100%, and we really feel it.
So there you have it. Building rapport is the first order of business for you as marriage mentors. And once you open up that door, once you make that safe harbor for your mentorees, it's amazing how naturally the rest of the relationship can fall into place.